And I believe we are recording. Welcome, everyone, to this workshop, Professional Image Making a Lasting Impression. This workshop is to help prepare you for the job fair, the UVA Career and Community Fair on October 7th, Tuesday, October 7th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hillsdale Conference Center, located at 550 Hillsdale Drive in Charlottesville, Virginia. So we've had two workshops so far, and this is the final for our series to help prepare you for that workshop or for the fair. Um, so professional image, making a lasting impression, I think is one of the most important things when you meet employers for not only job fairs, but also interviews and social media presence. So we'll be looking at dressing appropriately for various industries, communicating effectively with employers, writing polished emails, developing your elevator pitch. We'll have a little activity to go over that, managing your social media presence, and yeah. So in preparation for the job fair, um, we do have a list of the employers that will be attending this fair on October 7th. So researching some of the employers ahead of time would serve you well. Getting to know the company, the organization, some of the values that the company has, the positions that they offer, even applying online before attending, if possible, will go a long ways. It'll show the employers that you are um, prepared, you're on top of it, and you are really seeking this opportunity. Definitely want to bring multiple copies of your resume printed. And if you need help generating a resume, please let us know. We'd help to be more than happy to help craft that for you. And of course, having your elevator pitch. So we will have an activity going over that here soon. So if everyone can have a pen and paper out, that would be great. And then, of course, dressing appropriately for your target industry. So corporate typically is business formal, suits, dress, shoes, healthcare, scrubs, or business casual. Hospitality, the uniforms or business casual, depending on what they provide. Sometimes they give you uh, various items that you have to wear for safety reasons. Trades, industry specific attire, and I think that applies to all of these different industries. But more specifically, attire for men. So some do's is, you want to wear a well-fitted suit for formal industries if possible. Opt for neutral colored dress shirts. You don't want anything too flashy, neon color. You don't want distractions. Keep your shoes polished and professional, and then maintain good grooming, hygiene. Make sure you take a shower. You don't put too much cologne on, and just overall good grooming. Some don'ts, avoid wrinkled or stained clothing, no flashy accessories or strong cologne, avoid overly casual wear unless appropriate. Don't wear flip-flops, shorts, graphic t-shirts, hats, you know, baggy jeans, things of that nature. You want to look your best. You're going in front of employers, and the goal is to leave a lasting impression. Does anyone here have any other suggestions in terms of do's or don'ts for men attire? Even if you aren't a man, maybe you've seen and experienced
Are ties typically worn these days?
ties. Ties will go a long way. It will certainly. I think that um, you know, being overdressed is better than being underdressed.
Okay.
So I would just go with that in mind. But yeah, ties are great.
And I just have a question. Um, Working with students, um, so we've taught them like the interview is different than the job. So like if you're going to an interview for trades for, car mechanics, you still want to wear an interview outfit, And of course these are students
Absolutely.
and they don't have as much wardrobe or even as, and I mean a lot of people don't have the resources, but so we
Mhm.
just always kind of guide them with collared shirt.
Right.
Um, and but it's interesting that it would be okay to wear if it was medical or like PCA, that it would be okay to wear scrubs. So, I know
Well, I
things
wouldn't
change.
say to an interview. I think that was more specifically geared towards what you would wear at your industry for work. But for
Oh,
interviews,
good.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Interview
Okay.
attire is exclusive, depending, of course, on what role, but typically it's the same across the board for interviewing. You want to wear, you know, a collared shirt, a jacket or blazer if you have one, a tie even. You want to dress as nice as you can. Some examples here are, you've got individuals wearing some suits. This is obviously clip art, but you don't see anything too flashy. These are neutral colors. Yeah, and then for women, some do's, choose a well-tailored suit or business casual. Keep your accessories minimal and professional. You don't want anything over the top. You want to avoid distractions. Maintain neat and professional grooming. Some don'ts. Avoid overly tight or revealing clothing. No excessive perfume or flashy jewelry. Avoid casual flip-flops or sneakers, especially in formal settings. Now, I will say for a job fair, you may be able to get away with wearing sneakers due to the fact that you are walking constantly. But if you have a pair of sneakers that could be presentable in the setting, that would be ideal. And then some examples here of some women's attire. Of course, this is clip art, but as you can see, neutral colors, business professional, you know, skirts go below the knees, overall professional. So, any other advice for women's attire do's or don'ts? All right. Now, this is a big one. Social media is a big part of our everyday lives for most of us. And so you want to make sure that what you post on your social media is professional and doesn't get you in trouble. So, some do's. If you have a LinkedIn, make sure you keep that updated. Use professional photos for job-related accounts, and then engage with industry-related content. So if you have a LinkedIn account and you haven't been using it, but you're currently in the job market looking for a role, I would suggest looking into the industry-related content, commenting on it, engaging with it. It will show up in your LinkedIn that you are engaging with this content, and that can look good for employers. Some don'ts, I would avoid posting controversial or offensive content. Don't share unprofessional photos on your Facebook, Instagram, if they are public. Be mindful of your online presence. So employers typically will check the social media accounts of their candidates to get a little bit more insight on who this individual is. So make sure that what you have posted is professional or isn't inappropriate at the very least. Um, yeah. Any other tips for social media presence? Anyone?
I have a question again. So
Please.
again, the population that I work with a lot, um, well, actually, maybe I just haven't gone there, but if you don't have social media, if you're not on LinkedIn, like, is that a point against you?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I think
Okay.
it I think it serves you well to have one though, but I don't think it's a point against you to not.
Okay.
It's an opportunity. It's a networking application, so you're able to connect with employers but I wouldn't say it's a point against you. No, that's a good question.
Okay.
All right, so now communicating with employers. So when you are at the job fair, you want to make sure that you are being polite and professional in person, but also in emails, using clear and concise language. This is for emails specifically, but also communicating in person. You want to make sure that you're being polite, concise, appropriate language. Some don'ts include, avoid using slang or informal language. Do not send emails with typos or grammatical errors. And then avoid being too casual in professional settings. So don't address someone as bro or dude. Address them by their first name and uh, try to keep things as professional as possible. Try to step into the mindset that you are in a professional setting. So, you got to switch the gears a little bit in how you're communicating. A lot of this seems pretty straightforward, but a lot of times we can forget these little details and slip up. So we want to avoid that. Some questions that you can ask to employers when you are at the career fair include, and these are just examples, what qualities do you look for in successful candidates? And then when you receive that answer, you may very well possess some of those qualities, and you can share that with the employer and provide examples. What growth opportunities exist within your organization? You want to know if this organization will provide that upward mobility within. So that's a great question to ask. How would you describe the company culture? I think company culture is really important to know. So asking that question will reveal if it's a good fit for you or not. What next steps should I take after the fair is a great question. It shows initiative. It shows that you care and that you want to take those next steps. And then, of course, after the fair, you want to follow up with the, I don't know, top 5, top 10 employers that you met with. What that looks like, well, I would say sending a thank you email within the next day or two. So make sure you get contact information for those employers that you are very interested in. Mention specific conversations you had. Maybe there was a moment during the conversation that you and the employer had something in common, and you can shine light on that really quickly while also reiterating why you are the best fit for the role. And then if you have a LinkedIn account, you can connect with the recruiters on LinkedIn so that way you can be in touch with them. And then reapply or update your application if needed. So let's say you did apply ahead of time and you show up to the job fair and you find out that you should have submitted a cover letter. Well, go back and update that if possible, or see if you can email it directly to the employer so they can add it into your application. And then following up again, 1 to 2 weeks if appropriate. So if you don't hear anything back within the next 3 days, I'd say after you've sent that initial email, I would follow up and if appropriate. So I think every job seeker should have an elevator pitch going into a job fair. And what that looks like is introducing yourself. So my name is Elijah. I have this many years of experience in this industry. I have skills in patient customer service. I have strengths in, you would list your strengths, highlight your strengths, your skills, and maybe provide some examples. And then state what type of role that you are seeking. and why you'd be a strong fit. So reiterate those skills and strengths and why they would make you a strong fit for that role. And you want to keep it short to 30 seconds or less, especially at the job fair when there's going to be hundreds of job seekers. So time is limited. And then practicing it until it feels natural. What I like to do is print out material and read aloud. That helps me memorize. Whatever works for you. Any questions about elevator pitch? We're going to do an activity actually right now. So if you all have your pens and paper ready, we can begin. So this is the 30-second pitch challenge. So I want everyone to first, we're going to brainstorm. So who are you? Well, I am Elijah Harrison. Write this down. And I have 5+ years of experience in professional settings. So my name is Elijah Harrison, and I have 5+ years of experience in customer service. What are my key strengths and skills? What are your key strengths and skills? Write those down. I think mine are communication, professionalism, and some skills. You can list your soft skills or your hard skills. Some soft skills would include some of the things I listed: communication, professionalism. Hard skills, Microsoft Suite, Canva, something technical. Now, when you are creating this elevator pitch, you want to tailor it specifically to the role or industry that you are applying to. So make sure that it's relevant. What I would do, or what I would suggest for people to also do is look at job descriptions for roles that you're interested in and utilize some of that language. Look at some of the skills that they're looking for in a person. Do you possess those skills? If they do, throw that in there. Do you possess some of the experience? Can you think of some previous work experiences that you've had? And some of the things that you did, are they transferable? Are they similar? You know, they don't have to be the exact same. So definitely looking at job descriptions and looking at what they're looking for can help you figure out some of those key strengths and skills that you might want to include in your elevator pitch. And then what role and industry are you seeking? Well, I'm seeking a customer service role. So that was step one, which is to brainstorm. Everyone had the opportunity to brainstorm real quick. How are we doing? Great, good. All right, step two is to build. So let's introduce ourselves. So my name is Elijah Harrison, and I have over 5 years of experience in customer service. Some of my key strengths include communication, professionalism, Microsoft Suite, and Canva. And I am seeking a role in customer service where I can serve other customers and fulfill the task at hand. And I believe that I would be a strong fit because I have the expertise and skills for the role. So my communication experience with my previous roles, and professionalism. So you're basically sharing, reiterating some of the skills that you have, some of the experiences you have, and utilizing that to share why that makes you a strong fit for that specific role. And then, of course, keeping it to 30 seconds or less, so it's really short. All right, and now is step 3, and we have a really small group, so we don't have to do breakout rooms, but I would love for us to share what we have come up with. Do I have any volunteers who would like to go first?
I'd be happy to.
Go for it, Robin. Thank you.
Okay. So my name is Robin Lukey. I've been a teacher for 30 years and a job coach for the last 2 years. My strengths are I am a people person. I'm really strong with networking. I know this community well, have a lot of strong relationships in the community with businesses and partners. Um, and I'm a teacher. I have strong skills as a teacher. I am seeking a role in supported employment, and I have success in placing clients in jobs. I have clients working at Planet Fitness, at Timberwood, at Hillside Daycare, and there are several others.
Thank you, Robin. I like the ending too, where you shared why you would be a good fit for that role, and you showcased that by highlighting some of the success you've had in your previous experiences. That was fantastic. That was great. Thank you, Robin. All right. Do I have any other volunteers?
I'll give it a try.
Yes. All right, Gary.
So my name is Gary Morgan. I'm an experienced pharmaceutical professional with nearly 25 years of experience in clinical data management, programming, and regulatory submissions. I have a lot of experience working with databases, with SDTM and ADAM standards, coding in SAS and SQL. I think some of my strengths are problem solving and quality control. I've worked a lot in that industry. In terms of the role I'm looking for, it's kind of varied. I've worked in a lot of diverse fields, so I'm really going to see what's present at the fair, and anything that interests me, I'll give it a go, really. I think I've got a wide range of different experience, which could sort of make me a good for many roles. That's it.
Great. Thank you, Gary. That was great. I would say the only tip, and obviously you're not speaking to a specific industry, but if you were, I'm sure you would tailor it to that. And that would
Yes.
be my only tip, which is to specify, the industry you're looking for. But of course, this is just sharing. I think everything was great. You shared your uh, who you are, your background, some experiences you have, how long you've been in that industry, and some of the strengths you have. So well done. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
Next.
Claudio.
Hi, everybody. My name is Claudio Otero. I'm currently an opportunity navigator with Pipelines and Pathways program, so sorry for being late. This is my elevator pitch. Elevator. My name is Claudio Otero. I have almost a decade's worth of experience in customer service, creating inclusive workplaces, workforce development, and helping and managing community partner relations. I'm interested in a customer service focused role where I can really utilize my strengths of creating inclusive environments and providing a high functioning customer service experience. Um, I would be a great fit for this role because I have successfully helped individuals navigate application and hiring processes, and help them establish meaningful careers at UVA. My work has also been recognized in individual and team awards. That was kind of all over the place, but
Oh, that was great, Claudio. Thank you. Yeah, you pretty much hit every spot on the nail. Showing well who you are, how long you've been working in the customer service industry, and then of course why you would be a good fit for the role, which was that last piece. You've won awards, you've successfully placed people, you've done, all of these great things, showing why you would be a good fit. Thank you, Claudio. And yeah. All right. Do we have any other volunteers would like to share? All right. Well, thank you all for sharing. That was great. So elevator pitches are really important when going to job fairs. It'll keep the conversation to the point. You're not wasting time. The time is limited. So having that elevator pitch will steer the conversation in the right direction. All right. And if anyone needs help crafting an elevator pitch, please reach out to us. We would be more than happy to help you with that. You can email our email address, which is uvapipelines@virginia.edu, and we would be more than happy to help you. Key takeaway, practice makes perfect. So make sure you practice them. All right, so final tips for success. Dress appropriately for the industry. Now, across the board, we do want interview attire to be elevated, collared shirts, ties, neutral colors, things that we have already discussed. Communicate professionally in all settings, email, in person, LinkedIn. You want to keep it professional, avoid slang, spell out the words, don't instead of YOU, put just the letter U, keep it professional. And then, of course, having a strong elevator pitch prepared will go a long way. And then research or apply to the company or job you are interested in before the job fair. That's going to serve you well. Like I said before, it'll show the employers that you are serious about the job, you've taken initiative, and that first step, which is to apply. And then maintaining a clean and professional social media presence. Because employers will typically look into those to get a better understanding of who you are. And always put your best foot forward. We are really excited about this fair coming up October 7th, Tuesday, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hillsdale Conference Center, located at 550 Hillsdale Drive in Charlottesville, Virginia. There will be over 70 employers. We will have a speed interviewing activity that will be going on throughout the day. So for job seekers, that's a great opportunity to get some interview experience if you haven't interviewed in a long time, or maybe you just had an interview. Either way, practice makes improvement, and that is the goal, right? To improve ourselves. So yeah, do I have any questions from anyone? Final thoughts?
I do have one question. So when it was asking questions to the employers, there's always a question about like opportunities for growth and stuff. But what about if you're not really looking to climb a corporate ladder, you're just happy with whatever role is there? So that I'm, getting older now, and sort of I only have like 10 years before retirement, so I'm just happy to find a job and then work that job. But I feel that's kind of frowned upon to actually go there and say anything like that. So I just wanted
You
your
know,
thoughts.
yeah, no, that's a great thought, Gary. And I see where you're coming from. You don't want the employer to think that you're, not a go-getter or not ambitious. You're just a stagnant employee. I know that sounds very harsh, and I don't mean it that way, but I get where you're coming from. I think, what you can do is just, show your interest in the position, but not necessarily uh, telling them that your plan is to stay in this position for the remaining
Yeah.
of your career. You don't necessarily have to share that. I would just
Okay.
show your enthusiasm for the role itself and how you're excited for it and to, hopefully get the role. So,
Okay. Thank you.
And if
yeah.
I
And
could
those were
just,
just,
I'm sorry,
please. No, go for it, Robin.
just piggybacking that about the questions for the employers, like one of the things we do with the students, we hand out a whole list. And then they look at the list and pick out which ones are really comfortable and appropriate for me. So there's so many
Mhm.
questions. I'm sure you know,
Right.
you can
Oh,
ask.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
certainly. And those were just some examples that I found. If you want to have a list of questions ahead of time, I would do that and write them down. Um, but yeah, whatever interests you, what questions do you have? Don't just ask questions because it's expected or what you think it's expected of you, but truly, what is it that you want to know? And ask away,
And can I ask one more question, Elijah?
please.
Um, in an interview workshop we did with the students, somebody came from a staffing company and said it is perfectly acceptable to bring a notepad. And either that you've jotted down things, because you get nervous, you might forget, or to jot down things you're told that you want to remember. So do you agree with that, that it's
I
still
agree.
professional? Okay, great.
Oh, absolutely. I think it shows the employers that you are taking it seriously, right? You're not just in one ear out the other. You want to make sure that you memorize whatever it is you're being shared. And so I think having a pen and notepad is a good thing. So even in interviews, if you have an interview, I would suggest bringing a little notebook and paper. And what I've done in the past is I've written down questions I have for the interviewers at the end and, looked at my notebook and said, yeah, I have some questions and read them from my notebook. So it's appropriate. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns regarding preparement for this fair?
Hi, Elisha. I do
Hi,
have a question.
Yvonne.
I'm able to connect fully now. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, I have a question. I will try to present myself. My name is Yvonne Lopez. I am a physician from Colombia that moved here more than 20 years ago, and was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. I just started working a couple of years ago as a doula. I got my state certification, and I'm also an interpreter. My goal is to become a midwife, and I don't know if my approach should be through finding an education program, or my goal would actually be to work while I train. So I don't know if that's a good way to approach through a job fair or through education. Do you have some input on that?
So are you asking so you're looking for a position where you're getting paid to train?
A position that I get paid to train. Yes, that's what I
So,
would love to.
so similar to our Earn While You Learn programs.
Exactly.
And you're asking me if it would be appropriate to mention that when you are speaking to employers?
Yes, I feel like sometimes when I say that I'm a physician, people just don't know. Like most people would ask me, "Why don't you are a physician here?" But the process
Right.
is totally
Right.
different. There's
Yes.
the language barrier. I'm 50 plus years old, and I'm not gonna do a residency program now. So my passion is birth work. I want to go back and do it, but I
Hmm.
would like to do it without having to do an OBG residency or
Right.
apply for
Yeah,
that.
there are many opportunities to get your foot in the back in the room. And earn while you learn programs are a great way to get into that. We have um, patient care technicians and certified medical assistants who would be assistants to the physicians who would be doing that work. So you would be in the room with them. And we will have the Earn While You Learn program there, so you can speak to them about that. But I guess when speaking to other employers, I would tailor your conversation to the person you are talking to the industry. So if you're mentioning that you are looking specifically for a paid training program and they don't offer it, that might, you know, not serve you well. But if that is your only option, then you're not wasting time because you know, you know that that isn't a good fit. Does that answer your question?
Yes,
Or
yes. So you basically you said there may be options
there are
to.
options. So I would just be mindful of the industry that you're talking to. But I would love to, meet with you. We can schedule a meeting so we can work more in depth on your elevator pitch and what we can do in terms of tailoring it to specific industries. I would love to connect with you. So,
Thank you so much. Me
yeah,
too.
I will. I
Appreciate that.
will. I'll send you an email after
Wonderful.
the workshop. Yeah,
Thank you. I
of
would you
course.
can use your help with the resume part as well.
Absolutely. Yes, we will help you with everything. We'll connect,
Wonderful.
Yvonne.
Thank you,
Yes,
Elijah.
of course.
Mhm.
Any other questions or final thoughts? No, no. Well, thank you everyone for being here and participating. Like I said, this workshop was to prep you for the job fair coming up October 7th, Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Hillsdale Conference Center, located at 550 Hillsdale Drive. Hope to see you all there. And yeah, once again, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thank
Great,
you.
wonderful, wonderful
Thanks, bro.
presentation, Elijah. Really
Thank you.
helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, that was very good.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Y'all have a great day.
You
You
too.
You
too.
too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.